What in Harambe's name does this diagram even mean? Man, how the hell am I going to finish all of these tasks before the day ends? Ugh, my head hurts. I need a break. Damn, Dumaguete looks so cool. If only there was a way to disappear for a bit. Even just for 24 hours. Anything to free my mind from all responsibility, if only just for a bit. Dumaguete is known for being one of the natural gems of the Philippines, hosting breathtaking landscapes, a vast array of wildlife, and being in close proximity to other major travel locations. It's no wonder why this is one of the top tourist spots in the country. But being a vet student also means having major time constraints. So, I tried to uncover as much as I could about Dumaguete in only 24 hours. We started our journey at 3:30 a.m. as we made our way to the Clark Airport in Pampanga, where our private jet was waiting for us. Our plan is simple yet hectic. We land in Dumaguete, rent a boat to check out Apo Island for dolphin and sea turtle searching, and then finally make our way to the mystical neighboring island of Siquijor, where we'll be spending the night. A completely packed schedule with activities literally planned out to the second. So if we're gonna check them all, we can't afford to skip a beat. Alright, so we just arrived here in the Clark new airport. I believe this is like Terminal 2 or something like that. And right behind me is the plane that we're about to take. So this is the Chieftain. Chieftain is I think a 10-seater plane, and the other plane over there, as you guys can see, is the Baron. So haven't ridden a small plane in quite some time, so a little nervous, not gonna lie, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. Right, Max?
Yeah.
Go. After taking shots for the gram, we quickly boarded the plane in order to stay on time. As soon as we settled into the plane, we took off almost immediately. The takeoff was smooth and the view was spectacular, soaring through other famous tourist spots such as Mount Pinatubo and Boracay. Our ride was chill and comfortable as I got to enjoy some pages of my current book and Mikey got to catch up on sleep. But wait. You're probably wondering, how in hell was a vet student able to afford all of this? Well, I'm glad you asked. Flight Club PH is a private aviation company that quenches your thirst for jet setting. Get to your next dream destination by taking a private plane that you have all to yourself and queue. Ditch all the lines and customs while you have the luxury to book on your most convenient time and date. And the best part is, Flight Club PH doesn't cost an arm and a leg to get to your dream destination. At only 100,000 pesos or approximately $2,000 per hour in the air, you and 7 other friends can book your own private jet to visit any province in the Philippines. And while this may seem like a lot, this is actually a steal because it's pretty much 50% of what other companies would charge you. To learn more about Flight Club, make sure to check out their Instagram handle at flightclub.ph and hit follow so that you can stay updated on all of their posts. Alright, now it's time to get back to the video. Welcome to Dumaguete. It's a bit overcast today, but we hope that later this afternoon starts to clear up because we got a lot of things planned for today. Super excited. Let's go! Upon arriving in Dumaguete, we were greeted by some local officials to welcome us to their city. And despite being just a random tourist, they made sure to make me feel special. On our way to the port, everything was going according to plan until this happened. The weather screwed up our entire plan and we had to find a way to pivot. Luckily, Dumaguete has a lot of natural gems to offer, so we decided to hit up the Balin sa Sayao, or also known as the Twin Lake Natural Park. The twin lakes are comprised of two small but deep freshwater lakes, namely Lake Balinsasayao and Lake Danao, and over 80 square kilometers of pristine rainforest. This park serves as a home for many of Negros Island's most iconic fauna species, such as the tariktik or Visayan hornbill, the elusive Visayan leopard cat, the Negros bleeding heart pigeon, along with 27 species of mammals, 49 species of amphibians and reptiles, and over 100 species of birds. The natural park also hosts 237 plant and 124 fern species, many of which are endemic and threatened. The spectacular fauna and flora makes for a prolific ecosystem critical for Negros Island. So being the nature junkie that I am, this was more than a reasonable compromise. So we just arrived here in the viewing deck of Lake Balinsasayao, and are you ready? Bang! Not the best visibility. Honestly, it kinda sucks, but man, kinda wish it was a little bit more sunny, but not gonna let it stop us from making the most out of this place. Let's go. Due to the rain, we couldn't head to the lake just yet, so we decided to eat in the only restaurant available. Being in the middle of the jungle, I had my doubts about the food quality. But man, was I proven wrong. They had an entire spread laid out for us, filled with local dishes sourced entirely from the natural park. And after a morning filled with traveling, I couldn't wait to dig in. Alright, so we finally getting to eat. Let's go. So we got the chicken adobo, pero native chicken siya. So mas malasa. A little bit tougher than the normal chicken daw, pero like there's a lot more taste as well. First meal of the day. Cheers. Definitely a lot tougher nga than normal, pero the taste, it's a lot more flavorful. Mickey noodles and what bird is that? So this is bami, Mickey noodles and sotanghon. Always good. This is what I'm excited about. Pako salad, so it's fern, land fern, with like some vinaigrette sauce.
I don't really like a lot of juice, so I guess you'd like it if I like it.
Super fresh. And now the pork kumba. Medyo matamis, soy sauce base. So what makes it different is that it has star anise. So adobo doesn't usually have star anise. And it also, the sweetener that they use is muscovado sugar, or local sweetener in the Philippines. Cheers. Once we were done eating, the skies thankfully cleared up, and Kuya Jack, our guide, showed us some of the local wildlife, and we got to explore the rest of the viewing point. So, right here, towering over my head, is this mulberry tree, which, as the name suggests, produces mulberries, which you can actually throw. Like right here. Let's see if we can get that in frame. Bruh. Okay, here we go. So you can actually eat the black ones. The red one is like gonna be a little bit sour because it's not yet ripe. So let's give it a try. Sweet, berry-like, almost like a raspberry, but a little bit tangier in a way. Good stuff. Mother Nature provides. After a quick cup of coffee and soaking in the view, we finally got to explore the natural park. To get to the port, we had to descend a steep hill, which was encased by towering dipterocarp trees and monstrous ferns. Upon arriving at the base, you really start to realize how massive and stunning this lake truly is. We hopped on a small boat powered by a local guide who easily steered us through the lake as we got to soak in the breathtaking view and listen to the symphony of nature. Our guide took us to the next port, where we would be able to have a panoramic view of the Twin Lakes and the encompassing mountain ranges. But with a view as spectacular as such, we had to earn it. Okay, so now we are headed up to viewing deck number 2. It's quite slippery, so you gotta be careful. This next viewing deck will allow us to see Lake Danao, or the other twin lake of this lake behind me, Balinsasayao. But it's gonna be quite a climb. Wish us luck. Alright, so we're here in the viewing point of the Balinsasayao Natural Park. It's actually one out of the 94 protected parks here in the Philippines. And as you can see, it's absolutely breathtaking. I don't know if you guys can hear it with this mic because I had to leave my mic because it was raining. But the sounds of the cicadas, the birds, everything is just so alive over here. And it's beautiful because right here behind us is the Lake Tanaw. And over there, which I won't show you guys, well, I'll just throw in some B-roll over there, is the Lake Balinsasayao. So, but the natural park is called Balinsasayao Natural Park, named after the glossy swiftlet, which is a type of bird, which is locally called Balinsasayao. So yeah, just gonna take this time to soak it all in. The lakes are located 830 meters above sea level, with depths reaching up to 97 meters. Both lakes also serve as a critical watershed for the neighboring towns of Sibulan, which is one of the reasons why swimming is prohibited, along with the fact that the buoyancy of freshwater lakes can be dangerous. But nevertheless, our time in Balinsasayao Natural Park was so much fun, and we spent the entire day there. Due to the weather, we decided to cancel our trip to Siquijor and spend the night in Dumaguete City. We checked into a simple yet comfortable boutique hotel called the Bricks Hotel, where we could relax after a long and hectic day of traveling. So to cap off the day, we're here in the Dumaguete port. Unfortunately, the sunset is not as nice as it usually is because the weather has just been testing us all day, but tonight we're gonna see what the nightlife is like here in Dumaguete City. Let's go! We briefly freshened up and headed downstairs to the in-house resto bar for a quick drink. Both the ambiance and food was amazing. We ordered a local dish called sinuglao, which is a mix of yellowfin kinilaw, the Philippines' take on ceviche, mixed with roasted pork belly or liempo. The dish was so scrumptious, and we chased it down with a drink. Or two. Okay, maybe three. We wanted to explore the nightlife of Dumaguete, but because we were so drained from the day, we decided to walk by the famous Rizal Boulevard and see what it had to offer. To our luck, the city actually had some sort of festival that had multiple wildlife murals and a full-on stage for a talent show. After briefly experiencing the festival, we headed back to the hotel for an early night as we had no idea what would happen next.
I'm now in Manila, the Philippines, where you can see Typhoon Noru is storming through the region with heavy rains and strong winds.
Patuloy po na tinutumbok ng Super Typhoon Karding.
That flooding was a result of heavy rain from Super Typhoon Noru.
Mga kapuso, patuloy ang paglapit ng Super Typhoon Karding.
Areas in the Philippines are placed under storm warning signals as Karding intensifies into a severe tropical storm.
So we're here now in the Dumaguete airport, literally just about to leave. But we did just get word also from Manila, from Pag-asa, which is like the government's weather agency, that Typhoon Karding, a super typhoon, is about to hit Manila. So while it's not really raining as hard here in Dumaguete, there's a very likely chance that we wouldn't be able to land. So we're probably going to have to rebook our flight, which means an extra 24 hours in Dumaguete, which kind of sucks, because obviously a lot of my countrymen will be suffering and be hit hard by this typhoon. But at the same time, look at the brighter side of the coin, an extra 24 hours in Dumaguete. So let's see what we end up doing. Hearing about the latest calamity was especially hard for me, because not only was I going to miss my live classes and due dates, but I was also left to worry about my family and fellow Filipinos. But we also realized that this situation was far beyond our control. So with the extra time on our hands, we decided to make the most out of our time in Dumaguete and goof around while at it.
I'm sorry.
Captain Roque reporting for duty. Start trip na po. Start na.
Bruh.
Pwede ba? Pwede ba? Pwede? Pwede? Sakto. Come on, can I get a pwede? Pwede. Let's go. We quickly hopped back into our van and headed out for lunch at the Royal Suite Inn, where we had incredibly tasty dishes such as sisig, kinilaw, pakbet, and literally the best sizzling bulalo I've ever had in my life. Once we were done with lunch, we headed to another tourist spot, Mag-aso Sulphur Vents. Located just 30 minutes away from the city, these vents are at the side of a mountain and have a cascade of natural gases almost resembling a waterfall. So we are here in the famous sulphur vents of Dumaguete. As you can see behind me, there's this entire rock formation And even down here by the river, you can see that there's just steam oozing out of these vents. And the reason why there is steam coming out of these vents is because there are very hot gases from the core of the earth, namely sulfur, sulfur oxide, hydrogen sulfur, and a bunch of other different natural volatile gases. As you can see, I'm not sure if you can really tell right now, but it is drizzling, which is making the smoke effect just that much cooler, because the temperature of these rocks are like definitely over 100 degrees Celsius. Totally cool experience, and I would definitely recommend it to any nature junkies out there. Woo! Sulfur vents, baby! We then headed to the famous Pulang Bato Twin Falls, which was just a short 15-minute drive away. So we're here now in the beautiful Pulang Bato waterfalls, or also known as the Red Rock waterfalls. So these are one of two waterfalls. There's another one there called the Pangi waterfall, and like the sulfur vents earlier, you can see that there are red rocks, as the name suggests, and that's mainly because of the sulfur that comes from within this mountain, causing a very bright red coloration. Such a sick waterfall. Since it was raining, the falls were not exactly the most enticing to swim in. It was cold, overcast, and incredibly windy. But because the weather was so bad, we had the entire falls all to ourselves. So we couldn't pass up the opportunity to fully enjoy the falls and all of its glory.
Damn, this water is cold. Struggle. I'll try to get into the water. It's so cold. How are you guys doing that right now? Well, that's what we do.
The falls are surrounded by thick foliage of wild plants and vegetation, coupled by the red appearance of the sulfur deposits, truly making it an outer-worldly experience, and one that I would highly recommend. So as you might be able to tell, our trip did not go as planned. We didn't get to go to Apo Island or Siquijor. We didn't fly back using the private plane. And we didn't get to be with our families during the typhoon. But that's okay, because throughout our entire lives, we'll constantly be facing adversity. No matter how thoroughly you plan or how hard you try, some things are simply beyond our control. But what we do have control over is how we perceive these obstacles, what we do to make the most out of the situation that we're in, and to simply embrace the unpredictability of life. Because while we might keep on trying to predict what will happen next, life will continue to throw curveballs at us. So take a break. Take all the time that you need. But always make sure to pick yourself up and get back on the grind. I'll see y'all in the next one. Deuces.